This is my app, and I'm logging in as a free user. This feature here, it's premium. I can't get access to it unless I pay. Now, watch this. And just like that, I'm premium. I didn't pay any money, I didn't go to a Stripe checkout, and I certainly didn't do something I was supposed to be able to do. So what just happened? Well, I ran one line in my browser console that allowed me to upgrade my user status from free to premium without ever having to pay. If you're building an app on Supabase with paid tiers, especially if you vibe coded it pretty fast, there's a high chance this exact exploit is in your application right now and you don't even know it. Let me show you why it happens and how we can fix it for good. Okay, so today we're going to be doing two things. First of all, I'm going to show you exactly what the exploit was, how I was able to upgrade my user status to premium, even though I didn't pay anything or go through a checkout link. And secondly, I'm going to show you exactly how we can fix this using the tools already included in Supabase with things like row level security, edge functions, and the service role to make sure that users can literally never do this inside your application ever. So here's a totally normal setup in Supabase. In my table for profiles, we can see I've got my usernames, my emails, and my subscription tiers, which controls what features they have access to, whether they've paid or not. At this point, I've turned on row level security, and that's good. That's the right instinct. That means that none of these rows are readable or writable unless there's a policy that specifically allows it. Now, I need my users to be able to update their own profile so that they could change their username, that kind of thing. So I write the same row level security policy that everyone writes. It looks like this. Create policy, users can update their own profile on my profiles table where their authorization ID matches ID. Now, let's read that in plain English. If the user signed in matches the ID on the user table, the user is able to update it. Makes sense, right? This ensures that a user can only update their own profile. So we should deploy it. Here's the problem. This policy controls which rows you can touch, but it doesn't say anything about which columns you can touch. So yes, with this policy, you can only update your own row, but on your own row, you can update anything, including subscription tier. RLS is row level security. It's across the entire row, and that's the exact vulnerability here. So many developers make the mistake of saying, well, if the user is only able to update their username in my front end, then they can't update any of the other columns, right? Well, all it takes is for me to open up my console here, go ahead and paste in my own separate command that basically says, hey, look at my user table and update my subscription tier to premium. And now with running that one simple command, my premium is now there. And it's very simple to do the opposite as well. If I wanted to swap myself back to the free tier, boom, I could do that. That's the entire vulnerability right there. Row level security allows me to update my entire row, even if my user interface of my app doesn't. And think about what this means for a real app. This isn't just subscription tiers, it's whether I'm an admin or not. If my app uses AI, I could make my credits 1,000,000. Any privileged value sitting on a row is a value that the user is able to update to whatever they want. So, how do we fix it? So we're going to do this in two layers. First of all, I'm going to revoke access to the subscription tier column on the profiles table for any user that's authenticated. Now, because every user is the authenticated role when they log in, that means that even if they're signed in, no user can update this subscription tier. Better yet, we could even put the subscription tier on its own separate table entirely to ensure that even if the user has access to update pretty much everything in the profiles table, the subscription tier, which is guarded behind a paywall, is still in a completely separate location that can't be updated ever. Now, my users can update their username all day. They could make it whatever they wanted. But if they tried to update their subscription here, they could not do it because we now have column level security implemented as well as row level security. Postgres simply refuses it at the database level, no matter what policy is in place. Now, the exploit is dead, but I've got a new problem now because with the policy that we just implemented, nobody can write to that column. And that is exactly where layer 2 comes in, a Supabase edge function. Crucially, the only thing that can actually write to our column and actually upgrade a user from free to premium is an edge function, because these edge functions are run on the server side. Now we're going to do this with the help of Supabase secret keys. This is going to allow us to completely bypass the RLS and the column LS to actually go ahead and upgrade that column to upgrade our user to premium. Because this is a privileged key that lives in the server and never in the browser. The user cannot see it. So the flow looks like this. The user pays, they call the edge function. The edge function independently verifies that the payment was received, and if the payment was received, it then upgrades the user to premium. Pretty simple, right? Using this method, the user never directly touches that column, and the database can independently verify that the payment was actually received. Now, it's important to note that the Supabase secret keys or Supabase service role, if you're using the deprecated version, are never to be shown to the user or exposed to the browser in the code. They should only ever be placed in the actual function itself. Now, this would be a great strategy for beginners, but one big level up for the pros watching, never even allowing the user to talk to the database at all. We don't have them send a message to the edge function. Rather, we have Stripe independently initiate that. So instead of the user saying, hey, database, I just paid, we don't have them do anything. They pay, they talk to Stripe. Stripe actually verifies that the payment went through properly. And when it does, it says, hey, database, this user just paid. Just a quick thing I want to mention, webhooks are public endpoints, so always make sure that you verify the Stripe signature header with construct event. Without it, anyone can post a fake payment succeeded. The database then says, okay, great, I'm going to update the user. And now the user is only ever talking to Stripe via payment. They are never talking to the database directly. Stripe does that once it verifies it. This way, the user doesn't have to say anything to the database. The database only updates when the payment actually goes through, and all Stripe has to do is take some money. Now our upgrade is fully server to server, which means that our users can never have the opportunity to do what we did earlier. And the browser in this case is completely out of the loop because it doesn't matter what I send from this end. Nothing the user sends should be able to control whether I'm premium or not. It's the same principle we talked about earlier, but taken all the way. The thing that grants the user access is never something the user is able to control. So 3 takeaways you can use today. Row level security only protects the row. You need to implement additional security measures to protect your columns. Because users can edit their own row, quietly means users can edit every column on their own row. 2, lock privileged columns like subscription, admin, credits with a column level revoke so that the database itself refuses to ever update those. And 3, route legitimate changes through an edge function, ideally not something that the user is able to trigger directly. They would have to pay through something like Stripe or another payment provider to actually have Stripe call this edge function so that the user isn't initiating it. It's the payment provider. These are all tools that Supabase hands you out of the box. And if you're using AI to build your applications, it can be very easy for those AI tools to build something that looks amazing, but misses these key security features that could bankrupt you later. And truthfully, it's really easy to implement these things into your application, so there's no excuse. The platform gives you all of the tools out of the box. If you found this useful, go audit your profiles table right now. I am willing to bet that at least one of you out there has it so that users can write to privileged columns. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.